Banna had a particular slot on Cairo radio where he read the Quran. All the others were changed, the times, the dates changed, but not Sheikh al-Banna. He always recited Quran at 6 o'clock in the morning every Tuesday on Cairo radio for as long as I lived in Egypt and after that. So here I have a time, 6 o'clock in the morning, and the day, Tuesday. Okay, so I went to Mecca for the pilgrimage. My parents were with me, and we prayed the morning, the Fajr, at the Kaaba, and then we came back to our room. And I was preparing, that was Tuesday, I was preparing to hear my favorite reciter on Cairo radio. So I got my little radio, and I sat in bed. My father and my mother sat in the same room in their beds, and I turned the radio to Cairo. And sure enough, here comes Sheikh al-Banna, and I can tell you, the reason I know that I was fully awake is I never fall asleep when Sheikh al-Banna is reading Quran. And when I went for Hajj from here, I took with me 100 cassette tapes, and I gave them to my brother Atif, and I told him specifically, I wanted to record anything that al-Banna comes, whenever he comes on the radio or the TV or anything, record it. These 100 tapes, I want them full of recitations of Sheikh al-Banna. Okay, so in Mecca now, back to Mecca, Tuesday, I'm sitting in my bed, turning the radio to Cairo radio. So there comes Sheikh al-Banna, and he recites Surah Al-Rahman. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Ar-Rahman, Allama al-Quran, Khalaqa al-Insan, and then in ecstasy. And then I didn't hear al-Banna anymore. I was taken to some place in the universe, and I know I was fully awake, but here I am somewhere, and I saw these. Now at the time, nothing was explained to me. It is none of your business now, but you are here for some reason. And I saw, all I was told was that these are all the prophets. Jesus, Moses, Muhammad, David, Sarah, Jonah, Lot, Noah, all of them. I was told this is all of them. And they appeared like those oval pictures that many of us have, except these are alive. God showed them to me the way they looked in this world. Because I probably would have freaked out if God showed them to me in any other way. And they have their different dresses, different turbans, and different robes. But the person was down from the head to the knees. And one by one, they came in one by one, and they looked straight in my face, and they shake their heads approvingly. Something like this, approvingly. And then the person will go like that, and another one will come this way, and so on. They kept going like this, and I didn't know which is which. Only Abraham was identified to me. When Abraham came, I was told this is Abraham. And he's the only one identified to me. And I didn't know what this was all about. Then this ended, and when I came back, I looked at my father and I said, guess what? I just met all the prophets, and Abraham was identified to me, and he looks like us. Because it struck me, the resemblance. I remember what they look like. Well, I can't tell which is which. So, I told them Abraham looks like us, the Khalifas, When you look at me, look at my brother, look at my sister, there's a particular look, and Abraham looked like that. So, but the first thing that my father said was, what did Muhammad look like? Yeah. I said, sorry, Dad.
Nobody ever told.
I don't know which one was he, but when I see him, I recognize him again. He tell me what the name is. Okay, so I enjoyed it very much, and I told my parents, and I told my friends. I think I mentioned it maybe to Su'ad in passing. It was not important to me. It was just because like I said, it was done like it is none of your business. This is just something to be done. So to make a long story short, 4 months ago, this was all explained to me. And this is why I've been telling you that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been merciful and graceful towards us, and that in Surah 3 verse 81, it was explained to me that this is in fulfillment of this verse. That in retrospect what happened was, God took the person, the Reşad Halife, to that place somewhere in the universe, and the prophets, they were told this is the person who is to confirm all your messages and to confirm all of you. Do you approve? Do you fulfill your pledge to me that you took before creation? And every one of them was coming out to explain. Now that it's explained, I know what happened. So they come in and they look in my face and they say, yes, we do. Yes, we agree, we support it, we believe. And this is the explanation that came to me. So specifically, verse 81 of Surah 3 is what makes me dwell on that verse, because we are told, and God told us now. I believe there are many, many, many messengers because of what the Quran says. You know that if I tell you anything that is not Quranic, you tell me get out of here. And I'll be the first to denounce that. But God says in Surah 16, ينزل الملائكة بالروح من أمره على من يشاء من عباده لينذر يوم التلاق. أن أنذروا أنه لا إله إلا أنا فاعبدون. Excuse me, I mentioned this in Surah 4. ينزل الملائكة, he sends down the angels. The ruh means with inspiration or revelation or information. This is what the ruh is. ينزل الملائكة بالروح من أمره, in accordance with his commands. على من يشاء من عباده, upon whomever he wills from among his servants, plural. And أنذروا, that you shall preach, أنه لا إله إلا أنا, that there is no God, لا إله إلا الله, that there is أنه لا إله إلا أنا, فاعبدون or فاتقون, I forget now. The other verse is in Surah 40, where he says in the present tense. Now this is the present tense. And the verse in Surah 40, I have to try to remember it now. So at the beginning of Surah 40, I did forget it. But there's another verse in another surah that says, Allah yastafi, you know this one very well. Allah yastafi min al-malaikati rusulan, plural, wa min al-nas. God chooses from among the angels and from the people, rusulan, messengers. There are many kinds of messengers. And I've got news for you. You are messengers. You deliver the message, La ilaha illallah. Every one of you, when you meet someone and you tell them to worship God alone, you are messengers, many, many messengers. And you know you are delivering God's message. But this particular instant makes me just one of you, but makes me one who is named or just given a special, not a special, a specific mission. But we are all doing this. And God says this in Surah number 2. He said, لِيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ شَهِيدًا عَلَيْكُمْ. So the messenger will be a witness among you. وَتَكُونُ شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ. And you be witnesses among the people. This is in the Quran. Every one of you serve as witnesses, messengers. And the same word equally used in that verse. يَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ شَهِيدًا عَلَيْكُمْ وَتَكُونُ شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ. The messenger may serve as a witness among you, and you serve as witnesses among the people. So you have a fantastic responsibility, and I know you are doing it pleasantly and tirelessly. The verse in Surah 40, oh, this is the Mu'minun. What is this? Oh yes, Allah yastafi, yeah, I said that one. It's in Surah 23. Allah yastafi min al-malaikati rusulan. This is in the present tense. Some people say that the inspiration or revelation ended by Muhammad. It's not true. Because this is in the present tense. This is the final message. Everything is here. And we do not do anything that is not here. But there is so much information here, it will keep coming until the end of the world. Information that our parents did not know, information that we do not know, and information that our grandchildren only are destined to know. It's all in here. Nothing new, but it is all in here, including the end of the world and things that outrage the disbelievers. The verse in Surah 40 that also explains this. This turns out to be a very important discussion here.
Of course. What are you talking about?
It's on the tip of my tongue, but I'd like to read it correctly. No, it's right here. It's very possible that I misplaced the verse, but I can't find it in Surah 40. But the evidence is abundant that God uses, as you know, the Quran is mostly in the past tense. Because God is telling us things in our future that are not future to God. They are past, as far as God is concerned. So most of the Quran is in the past tense. But when it comes to selecting messengers, plural, in the Quran, it is in the present tense. So, especially in your case, being the first group, the pioneers of restoring all God's messages of the past, you have a special responsibility. There are many, many messengers, and this also confirms, or is confirmed by the verse in Quran that says there is not a village that does not have a messenger. So this gives idea how many messengers there are. But this incident that Carl was asking about just gives me a specific responsibility and makes us know precisely what the deal is. Because if we are believers of the Quran, we read in Surah 3 verse 81 that after all the prophets have come, including Muhammad, as we see later on, God set a trap for the disbelievers. After all the prophets have come, a messenger will come to confirm them. This is an established Quranic fact. And if we are believers in the Quran, we have to be open to this. Not only open to this, we have to know that there will be a messenger who will come and confirm all the prophets. And we will have no aversion at all to this idea. In fact, we will expect it and will agree with it readily. We happen to be the lucky generation, or the fortunate generation that witnesses the fulfillment of this verse. And I'm talking as one of you. You know, I distinguish in the Quran between Muhammad the messenger and Muhammad the man. And I'm telling you, Reşad the man is very excited about all the information that comes to Reşad the messenger. I'm just along with you. I cry, and I'm excited. And they see me jump up and down in the mosque when information comes, and we all jump together. Because it is beautiful. God is teaching us, and we are very fortunate to be born now, at this time. But, yeah, it sounds right. That sounds right. What does it say, Muhtash?
He is the grantor of the high ranks, the possessor of the all authority. He dispatches inspiration.
Yes.
Whenever he chooses among his servants.
Exactly. Yeah, this is it.
Dispatches in order to warn about the day of audience.
Exactly. So as you see, the Quran goes out of its way to mention these in the present tense because it is a continuous process until the end of the world. Every village, every community is going to have messengers. Look at Layla Ittifaq. She's a messenger of God. When she goes to her college, and she talks to the people about God and worshiping God alone. She is a messenger of God. And nobody can dispute that. So I hope this clarified and this is why you see the opposition, vicious as they are, they never said Muhammad is the last messenger. They cannot say that. They know it's a fabricated lie. This is why they didn't come up with it. They're trying all they're trying to do is that his name is not Reşad.
They're trying to discredit you.
But they cannot come up with any fact or any proof. They can only call me names, which is exactly what the Quran says. And it is really miraculous. It is really miraculous. They call me the names that the Quran says specifically. It's like, God is showing us that He knows what they're going to say. I get this telegram from Ahmed Didat, addressed to Reşad Halife al-Kazzab. Okay, this is in English, but he writes the Arabic word that is in the Quran. Okay, and then we read in Surah 38 and in Surah 54 the same word. They say, how come of all of us, he's the one who's getting the message and the inspiration? He is Kazzab. Okay, and then God goes on to the Quran and says they will find out tomorrow who is the Kazzab. But they had to, this is Western Union, folks. Okay? And they wrote down K-A-Z-Z-A-B. Okay? It's not an English word, but it's exactly what God wrote in the Quran, in Surah 38 and in Surah 54.
Except that God spelled it correctly.
Exactly. It's Kazzab, not Kazzab. They cannot do that. But it's ironic. So, as you know, the minute the person calls you names, they lost the argument. They have no evidence. When they start calling you stupid and this kind of thing, then you know they lost the argument. Yeah.
Okay. Do we have time for a couple more questions?
Brother Azhar has a question.
I just want you to comment on, there are a lot of verses which say that the messenger has been sent to prevail, so that Islam will prevail over all religions. Can you just comment on that?
This is a prophecy in Surah number 9 and Surah number 48 that Islam will prevail over all religions and will go to all corners of the world. And not only I believe that, I know that. I know this will happen. And inshallah it will happen in our generation. Brother Edith yesterday said that Surah 110 that talks about إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحُ, when God's victory comes, and you see the people embracing God's religion in great numbers. فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ وَاسْتَغْفِرْ, glorify your Lord and seek His forgiveness. إِنَّهُ كَانَ تَوَّابًا. These are 19 words. The generation before us know nothing about 19. We are the generation of 19, and we are the generation that will witness this great victory, inshallah. And this is why, this is the new world that did not receive a message before. All the messages came in the Middle East. So the message had to come here to America, and it is going to Japan. You just look at Naoko there. See, Naoko, why did God send a person from, are you from Tokyo, Naoko? Are you from Tokyo or where is it? From Tokyo, from the heart of Japan. So you know that the message will go there. Now when Naoko goes back, they're going to be true Japanese believers. I think that's the last frontier, and it will be in fulfillment of these prophecies of Surah 9 and Surah 48.
Well, don't forget Mexico and Latin America. There are no Muslims there.
Oh, Sister Tanita is there in Mexico. So. God will have the whole world covered.
Any more questions?
We'll have a break before lunch.
And this you have to elaborate on.